10 seconds.
Good evening and welcome to Live at 5. I'm Caitlin Burke. Today's October 10th, 2006.
And I'm Brittany Henderson. Tonight on Live at 5, Harding University is doing its own version of a popular reality show.
And some harsh words for the state from Attorney General Mike Beebe.
And I'm Stephen Goodale, and I'll tell you when we can start to expect cooler temperatures and if you might need an umbrella going to class in the morning. Live at 5 starts right now.
A name recently connected with much controversy was the topic of presentation at Harding University last night. Columbia University professor David Rosen presented his seminar, Leonardo da Vinci and Creation, to a full house. Rosen addressed da Vinci's influence on Renaissance art, as well as some of the artist's drawing techniques. Rosen also spoke about some of da Vinci's contemporaries, including Raphael and Michelangelo.
Harding University is looking for its biggest loser. For the past 2 years, Harding has been participating in their own version of NBC's Biggest Loser. We are at the midway point of the competition, and Stephen Burke speaks on the progress thus far.
Got 98 players right now, 11 different teams, like I said, and probably 90, 91, I don't have the exact numbers, have lost weight with the program, anywhere from just a few pounds to I've got people who've lost over 15 pounds in just 4 weeks. So I expect there to be people who've lost over 20 pounds when we're all done.
The department with the most weight loss will be announced in 4 weeks.
Democratic gubernatorial candidate Mike Beebe says Arkansans should stop tinkering with their public schools. Beebe, who is the state's attorney general, says the state should allow time for the changes already made in the schools to work before applying new rules and regulations. Beebe told the Associate Press in an interview Tuesday that he is opposed to lengthening the school year. He's also opposed to consolidating the state school districts to 75, which is 1 per county.
A threatening letter causes a section of the Arkansas State Capitol to be closed. The quarantine was issued this morning after an employee of the governor's office opened a letter that contained a powdery substance. The hazardous materials team determined that the substance was harmless, but they have not reported what the powder was. Police are tracking the return address on the envelope as a part of their investigation.
The Museum of Discovery launches the Arkansas Discovery Network today. The Museum of Discovery, located in downtown Little Rock, received a grant from the Donald W. Reynolds Foundation for over $7 million to establish and build the Arkansas Children's Discovery Network. The network has been created to give children in Arkansas's most rural areas high-quality interactive exhibits and events. Network coordinator for the Arkansas Children's Discovery Center Network, Diane LaFollette, says the grant will help reach more students and teachers with truly inspiring exhibits and programming. The Reynolds Foundation wants Arkansas Discovery Network to serve as a model for other states.
A former Arkansas governor prepares for heart surgery tomorrow. Former U.S. Senator and Arkansas Governor David Pryor was hospitalized in Little Rock after having chest pains last night. He will undergo extensive open heart surgery tomorrow at the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences. Since his heart episode 14 years ago, Pryor has remained physically fit by watching his diet and exercising.
An Arkansas food distribution company receives a profitable contract from the government. Tyson Foods has signed a contract with the Defense Department for over $150 million. In exchange, Tyson will provide fresh and frozen beef for the military stores. Tyson says the contract is an expanded version of a contract that is coming to a close. The new contract runs through October of next year with 2 possible annual extensions.
Coming up on Live at 5, President Bush holds a summit on school violence.
And we'll have the latest on North Korea's nuclear testing. Stay with us.
What is that thing?
Looks like somebody's double chin. Must have lost it snacking on fruits and vegetables.
So
Somebody's gonna trip on that.
At Harding University, we're proud of our numbers. With more than 5,600 students, Harding is the largest private university in Arkansas. Approximately 50% of the student body graduated in the top 25% of their high school classes. Almost 1,700 receive academic scholarships, and 90% of the students receive financial aid. Harding students are in demand, with more than 200 organizations or corporations annually recruiting our graduates. Add to that more than 90 majors and the option to earn one of 19 undergraduate or graduate degrees. At Harding University, our numbers are impressive.
Vermont police continue the search for a missing college student. Michelle Gardner-Quinn disappeared early Saturday morning as she was walking back to her dormitory. Her parents have released a video asking anyone with information about their daughter to contact authorities. The FBI and the National Guard have also joined the search. Officials are following several new leads, but so far they have found no clues as to her location. No possible explanation for Gardner-Quinn's disappearance has yet been offered, and authorities have not ruled out the possibility of abduction.
House Speaker Dennis Hastert says today he will fire anyone who covered up former Representative Mike Foley's online exchanges with former teenage House pages. With Foley's resignation last month, much attention has focused on whether the House leadership did enough to protect the pages. Hastert says he doesn't think anyone in his office has done anything wrong at this time, but says 2020 hindsight shows they could have been more active in responding to rumors.
A willingness to speak up may be the key to stopping the next act of school violence before it starts. An expert told the Bush administration summit today that kids who plot to kill other classmates often boast about their plans. She says the next step is to encourage other students to tell officials what they know. U.S. Secretary of Education Margaret Spellings says it is crucial for schools to have a crisis response plan. Also, to make sure the school knows what the plan is. A Colorado sheriff who handled a school shooting 2 weeks ago says just a month earlier the school practiced an emergency lockdown. After the shooting, several students told of seeing an intruder but thought he was a parent.
President Bush met with Peruvian President Alan Garcia today. The two discussed a free trade agreement between the U.S. and Peru. After this meeting, Garcia said his country is seeking an agreement that will benefit everyone in Peru, not just the rich. President Bush has promised to help get the free trade agreement through Congress. Garcia will also speak at the Institute for International Economics and meet with Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice.
San Diego police say 7 undocumented immigrants were pulled out of a storm drain today. The immigrants were pulled out after Border Patrol officials saw them trying to enter the U.S. through an unused drain. Police say Border Patrol surveillance cameras caught the images of the group as they entered a drain on the Mexican side of the border across from San Diego. When agents got to the scene, they immediately took into custody 2 people who were outside of the drain on the U.S. side. As the others were being ordered to come out, one person got stuck in the narrow drain. San Diego Fire Department crews had to use jackhammers to widen the drain. One person was taken to a hospital to be treated for minor injuries.
One day after North Korea's apparent nuclear test, the U.S. and other countries have spoken out about the country's actions, but are still exploring options on how to handle the issue. For more, we go to Sumi Das in Washington.
North Korea announced a successful nuclear test, a new warning. The South Korean news agency quotes an unnamed North Korean official as saying a nuclear-tipped missile could be next, depending on how the U.S. acts. UN Security Council members agree Monday's reported test is unacceptable. As the UN considers its response, the objective for the U.S. is clear.
To make sure that we make this a very, very costly decision, such that North Korea will want to come back to the bargaining table and get rid of these weapons and programs.
The U.S. proposal, tough sanctions against North Korea.
These sanctions are aimed at the North Korean programs of weapons of mass destruction, nuclear, chemical, biological, their ballistic missile program, and their other illicit activities, the sale of drugs through diplomatic pouches, counterfeiting our money, to cut off their supply of resources that they use to keep these programs going.
Japan has proposed additional restrictions, such as banning North Korean imports and international travel by high-level North Korean officials. But Russia and China, both Security Council members with veto power, favor negotiations.
I think we have to react firmly, but also I believe that on the other hand, that the door to solve this issue from diplomatic point of view is still open.
The U.S. ambassador to the UN says the initial response from China and Russia to sanctions was, quote, positive. In Washington, I'm Sumi Das.
A 16-year-old Turkish boy has been sentenced to 18 years in jail for the murder of an Italian Catholic priest. The shootings happened in February as Father Andrea Santoro was praying in his church. Pope Benedict paid tribute to the 61-year-old priest at a recent Mass at the Vatican. The boy's name has not been published. His family plans to appeal. Turkish media quoted the boy at the time of the shooting as saying he shot Santoro after being influenced by Protestants against the cartoons depicting the Prophet Muhammad. The incident comes as the Catholic Church is trying to boost ties with Islam, following comments made by Pope Benedict appearing to depict the religion as prone to violence.
As people age, vision often deteriorates. And as Judy Fortin reports in today's Health Minute, macular degeneration is robbing a growing number of seniors of their eyesight.
88-year-old Helen Latner is one of 10 million Americans with macular degeneration, an incurable eye disease that's left her legally blind.
It looks as though there's kind of, if you smeared Vaseline all over your eyeglasses and you're looking through a dim veil of some sort.
Helen is a former English teacher who loved to read. Now she needs a magnifying glass to see the words on a page.
As some people get older, the very center of the retina, we call the macula, the area that's responsible for your finest vision, develops changes and starts to deteriorate.
Symptoms include blurred, distorted, or dim vision. Experts believe that eating a healthy diet rich in beta-carotene, vitamin C and E, and zinc may help reduce the risk, as well as exercising and not smoking. Doctors say medication and laser treatments are appropriate for some patients.
If we can catch people early before they've lost a lot of vision, even stabilization is good.
Despite her vision problems, life is good for Helen, and she's determined not to let macular degeneration slow her down. For today's Health Minute, I'm Judy Fortin.
Now it seems like fall's finally here with these cooler temperatures.
It does, and in fact, over the next week, we'll start to see some of the coolest of the season. I'll tell you about it when we come back.
In all the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces all day through, I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you.
Oh, Maria! Elmo sure is excited about going for a ride.
Same here. Elmo wants to sit in the front seat. Elmo must sit in the back. In the back?
Kids always sit in the back, Elmo, with safety belts fastened. Look at Gabby.
And little kids sit in special safety seats.
A special seat?
That's right, Elmo. You ready?
Yeah!
Remember, kids sit in the back seat and everyone buckles up.
It may be fall, but Colorado residents probably feel like they're walking in a winter wonderland right now. Snow is on the ground in several areas, including the city of Jeunesse, just west of Denver. This after cooler temperatures throughout the state turned rain into flakes. Up to 10 inches of the rain poured down on some areas in Colorado during a fierce storm on Monday. Those same areas also produced mass mudslides along the flooding river. So let's go ahead and take it to the weather graphics computer now. And here's a look at all of this precipitation that caused that snow in Colorado. It's produced a high pressure system, and the high is just pushing all of this moisture down towards our area. That's what could give us the chance for rain later on this evening into early morning. That's why it might be a good idea to bring an umbrella with you to class. So taking a look at the almanac, we have had cooler temperatures with a low of 52 this morning and a high right around 77. Very comfortable outside. as you try to get some walking done or maybe even go out later this evening. Very nice night to do so. 68 being reported in Fayetteville, 71 in Fort Smith, 77 in Little Rock, and 78 in Memphis. Right now at Harding University, 77 degrees under mostly cloudy skies with 60% humidity. Very comfortable for this time of year. So for tonight, expect temperatures into the low 60s with a 30% chance for thunderstorms after dark. By morning, that 30% chance for rain stays there, but then after about 7 o'clock, the skies will start to turn partly cloudy with temperatures in the mid-80s. So over the next 5 days, expect 30% chance of rain Wednesday and Thursday with temperatures cooling off very significantly from Wednesday to Thursday. Then on Friday and Saturday, still dry with temperatures in the mid-60s, and then by Sunday's temperatures going down to the low 60s.
Coming up after sports, what do you call a half donkey, half zebra?
I'm not sure, but in Harding sports, Bisons and Lady Bisons are continuing their winning streaks or looking to start one. Stay tuned.
Gulf South Conference football games on GSC TV Live were something special. Wait until you see what we've got in store for you this time around. You'll see plenty of hard-hitting, fast-paced, wide-open GSC football as the best teams in Division II take the field 9 straight Thursdays. Don't miss Bob Valvano, Don Russell, Jesse Branch, and Jim Cavell as they bring you all of the action. GSC TV Live. We're not just your ordinary football.
Can I help you, sir?
Found these over by the stairs.
Okay, thank you.
What are they?
Love handles. Lots of people lose them taking the stairs instead of the escalator.
Now the volleyball team's got quite a few games this week.
Yeah, there's one tonight, and I'll tell you more about that right now. The Lady Bison volleyball team suffered their second 3-game loss of the season to number 20 ranked North Alabama Saturday at the Rhodes Fieldhouse. Game scores for the match were 30-24, 30-17, and 30-25. Harding's Katie Westmoreland was listed in the conference top performers for last week with 24 kills in 3 matches. HU takes to the road this week with 6 away matches. The Bisons face Southern Arkansas tonight at 7 o'clock p.m. and on Thursday, October 12th, they face Arkansas Monticello at 6 o'clock. HU will then travel to Arkadelphia, Arkansas for 4 matches at the Henderson Classic Tournament. The Harding University football team continued their exciting winning streak last Saturday in Carrollton, Georgia. Junior quarterback David Knighton completed 20 out of 24 passes and threw 3 touchdowns to lead the Bisons to a 34-16 victory over West Georgia in Gulf South Conference action. The victory marked the Bisons' 3rd straight win in conference play and its 5th win out of the last 6 games played against West Georgia. HU will be off for 12 days before its next game on October 19th when the Bisons host Southern Arkansas in the GSC TV Game of the Week. The Harding University women's cross-country team won their 3rd meet of the year by defeating 23 other teams over the weekend at the Brooks Memphis Twilight Classic Tournament. Leading the Lady Bisons were Savita Chilimo and Vicky Echeverria. The Lady Bisons are ranked 3rd nationally in the NCAA Division II. The Harding men placed 2nd out of the 24-team meet with 3 Bison runners in the top 6. Once again, the Bisons' top finisher was Julius Koski. The Bisons and Lady Bisons are off for a week before they run in the Gulf South Conference Championship on October 21st in Huntsville, Alabama. The HU women's soccer team beat North Alabama last Friday night by a score of 4-0. And on Sunday, the Lady Bisons continued in Gulf South Conference victory with a win over the University of West Georgia by a score of 1-0. Harding junior forward Lindsey Clissold scored from 25 yards out out in the 37th minute of the West Georgia game. The victory was Harding's 4th straight and resolutely locked up a spot for the Lady Bisons in the GSC tournament. Harding began its final non-conference game of the season today at 4 o'clock against Lyon College in Batesville, Arkansas. Over the weekend, the Harding University Ultimate Frisbee team attended a tournament called Itch Fest in Nashville, Tennessee, hosted by Vanderbilt University. The Harding men took 2nd place behind the University of Tennessee, beating out Vanderbilt, Purdue, Georgia Tech, and Ole Miss. Harding's team, called the Apocalypse, went 5-2 overall.
Well, you don't hear much about the Ultimate Frisbee team. Sounds like they're making a name for themselves.
Yeah, they're starting to show up in this fall season, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. What would you call an animal that has a donkey body but zebra striped legs? Kensett resident and owner Dee Williams says people call the animal a zonkey, debra, or many other names. But Williams and her husband Donald Williams call the half zebra, half donkey by a specific name. And that name is Trouble. The couple has had Trouble for 2 years, and he's receiving quite a reputation around Kensett and White County. And what would a zonkey be good for? The family says that Trouble is a good herder. Breeders say you can train a zonkey to do anything a normal donkey would do.
In today's Hollywood Minute, Rod Stewart has a new album out, and Angelina Jolie is at work on her latest big screen project. Here's Brooke Anderson.
Angelina Jolie has started filming A Mighty Heart. She began shooting her scenes on Monday in India, where most of the movie will be made. The drama is about U.S. journalist Daniel Pearl, who was abducted and killed in 2002 in Pakistan, but only a few background scenes will be shot in that country due to security concerns.
Do those documents, it's going to take me months.
And you better get started.
It's life in Fast Forward and Rewind for Adam Sandler in Click. The comedy comes out today on DVD. Sandler stars as a workaholic architect who finds a universal remote that allows him to manipulate his life. And Rod Stewart's returning to his roots with a new collection of rock and roll classics. On store shelves today, his new CD, still the same great rock classics of our time. For Hollywood Minute, I'm Brooke Anderson.
So have you all ever seen a zonkey before?
Can't say that I have.
Haven't. I've heard about it, though. Thanks for joining us tonight on Live at 5. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night for more local news, sports, and weather.
From all of us here at TV 16, have a great night.